Special delivery! In this video, I'm gonna review a product that I've been wanting to try for a while. The company is called Nice Shrooms, and I got the pleasure of trying 3 different flavors. One being Electric Apple, Cosmic Berry, and Galaxy Raz. Of course, they gave me some stickers because you know me, I love my stickers, and so I'll be placing those on my iPad. But I thought the packaging was adorable, electric, and just colorful all around. Definitely love the little mushrooms. Their website was wonderfully put together. You know me, I love a good website, and the graphics and everything, the presentation was just absolutely perfect. Some things off the bat to know about magic mushroom gummies is it's probably best to try it on a full stomach because you might get a little bit nauseous, so that's always something I recommend doing if you're new to shrooms. And this reminder is a legal option, so it's going to be very mild. It's not going to be over the top. So I'm expecting some gentle euphoria, maybe some enhanced sensory awareness, etc. But always make sure the kids are not around. You do it by yourself, makes it more fun. And so I find a nice secluded spot to try it out. Usually you would just start with 1, but you know, I'm me. So I'm going to go straight for the 2 and see how it works. The taste is amazing. First of all, love the taste, very juicy. And we wait. And while we do so, please take a moment to like, subscribe, follow, share. I talk about mystical, natural alternative stuff, spirituality, the go-to. So please take a look around, and if it just vibes with you, then like, share, subscribe would be wonderful while I put the cute stickers on my iPad. Okay, in all seriousness, this is my opinion and feedback on nice shrooms. Taking into account, obviously, I'm a working mother, wife. I have a household, a business to run. I work in a corporate life. This isn't something I would just do day to day, right? You have to be in a setting where I would suggest being alone, definitely not with your kids, no responsibilities. And that's the first thing I took into account, because you never know how it's going to react. And these, of course, are illegal, so they're a very mild version of what you would probably get on the black market. So I would say the nicest thing I liked about this was the quick onset of benefits that you received probably less than 5 minutes from taking it. And that was just instant euphoria, instant, chill. I've been stressing out about work and life balance, and this immediately just calmed my nerves, which was nice to feel. Shrooms is legendary for making everything more accentuated and bringing things more to life. Sometimes the trip is scary and over the top. You can't trust your brain, but yet you do trust your brain, but you can't. It's just such a complex experience. But for these, they're so mild, they're going to have a mild reaction to you with the typical effects that you get from shrooms, which is just perfect. I don't need any more. It is the perfect amount of experience that I would ever want to get from shrooms or anything, really. And you could still go about your life. You're still very alert. If in fact you're more alert, that's oftentimes the feedback you get from people when they do take shrooms. Everything's more heightened, alive, colorful. You're more in tune with things. You're creative. You're talkative, but yet not too talkative. But yet you can easily come up with something to talk about. Again, mental clarity, very alert and motivated, right? Energetic. But the one thing I would say that's my favorite is the combination of that mental and physical motivation that it gives you, with a little bit of that euphoria of just happy-go-lucky. Yes, I got this. That should be their motto or their statement right under their logo. You got this. Or I got it. Seriously, that's the reaction. And again, I went with 2 because it's just what I do. I would say 1 would probably be very limited. 1, you could probably go about your day-to-day life without no problem at all. 2, it might be obvious that you're not your typical self. Let's just say you're more melancholy, you're more quiet, you're not as creative verbally with things to say. You would stand out in this case. So taking those things in mind, but my feedback overall was definitely a 10 out of 10. Their packaging is adorable. I love their stickers. Of course, I put them on my iPad. Obviously, some I can't really use or put in public places because I'm a career-driven woman and I work in the corporate life, and there's still that stigma out there. So being a working mom, I would say this is a great thing to have on a weekend. It's a great thing to have if your kids aren't around. Even with their being around, I don't think it's that big of a deal. In fact, you might be a more happy-go-lucky, chill, loving, fun mom with it. But, to each their own. I know some people will be like, no, not in front of the kids. I get it, 100% respect that. But for many people that are not new but are very seasoned in alternative medicine like this, I would say you would have no problem at all going about your life. Very alert. In fact, you'd probably be the best driver on the road with these gummies, and that might stand out too. You know that one perfect driver that's just so obnoxious, they're always going the speed limit and they're turning their signals for every little fucking thing. It's like, what are they hiding, So maybe avoid driving, because you would definitely stand out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my feedback. I recommend this company 100%, and I'm all about alternative medicine, so I'm very happy to find them. I will be using them in the future, especially for my chill days, like a girls' weekend out. I can't wait. Me and my childhood best friend are planning a trip to Scotland, and now I have to Google if this is legal to ship over there, because that would be interesting. Anyway, see you next time. See you in another video. Please like, share, subscribe, share your comments. I'd love to hear what you think about it. If you've tried this before, what your thoughts are on it, and anything else you might want to see. Of course, everything in moderation is key. It is the person that is the problem, not the thing, right? Self-control is important, and so this applies to that as well. What else was I gonna say? I will add, I could definitely see people losing weight on this shit, just saying, because it really motivates you. You don't really have an appetite. It's not like you have the munchies like marijuana or like Mary Jane and all that, because that was a major downer years and years ago when I was very supportive of that stuff before I was, in the corporate life. That was always a bummer. I always avoided Mary Jane because I got tired, I got stupid, I got lethargic. I'm like, what? I wanted to eat my entire kitchen. I'm like, this is just not cool. Like, I've always been baffled when I've seen a skinny twig Mary Jane addict. It's like, how? So this stuff really is the opposite for me, energetic. So it would help with weight loss overall. I think taking some gummies and then going to the gym seems like a freaking lovely to-do list, like schedule for the day. In fact, that sounds really like a good idea. Something to take into account though, when you enjoy shrooms, I tend to avoid taking it when I'm already emotional about something. Let's say I'm stressing out about something, depressed, worried, some passionate in a sense of emotions. If you're going through a passionate period of any kind, I would avoid shrooms because it will just accentuate that. It will take what you're already focusing on and triple it emotionally. So it's one thing a lot of people don't talk about. I'm not just gonna sway you down the wrong road. I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. Maybe this isn't for you if you tend to be someone who's stressing out all the time or emotional all the time or worried, because this will just feed off of that, right? But if you're a happy-go-lucky, good, positive person, or you're really trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel kind of person, this is great. It will feed off of those energies, right? That's just normal. If you're a spiritual person like I am, these are things you just know. And so alternative medicine is there for all of us to utilize to help better our lives. But sometimes it's not for everyone. And it's important to always remember that.